dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke and I welcome you all to the MC James virtual classroom.
My dear students, today in Standard 8 History and Civics, we are going to start with the topic Civil Disobedience Movement. Here, the meaning of the word disobedient is refused to obey rules. Refuse to obey rules. So this lesson is all about the refusing rules of British government. That is why it is named as Civil Disobedience Movement. After the resolution of complete independence was passed in the Lahore session, we know that in the Lahore session, resolution of complete independence was passed, and after that, Mahatma Gandhi decided to launch the civil disobedience movement. That means not to obey the rules of British government. And before beginning this movement, Gandhiji put various demands in front of the British government. And one of the important demand was to cancel the salt tax and monopoly of British government for manufacture of salt. But because of the demands of Gandhiji's were rejected by the government, he decided to launch Satyagraha all over India by breaking the Salt Act. And here, the civil disobedience movement started with the Salt Satyagraha. Now, the thing which we know that the salt is an important ingredient. Salt is an important ingredient in the food of common people. Without salt, we can't imagine our food. हम बिना सॉल्ट के हमारा फूड इमेजिन भी नहीं कर सकते. और ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया कि सॉल्ट जैसा इंपॉर्टेंट इंग्रेडिएंट जो है उस पर ही टैक्स लगा दिया. एंड हेंस it was unjust to impose tax on an essential commodity like salt. There is nothing more essential or important than salt in the diet of Indian people or anywhere in the world. So, Salt Satyagraha was symbolic, and Gandhiji started the Salt Satyagraha, but it was symbolic to show the British government that we are not with you and you people are making unjust with the Indian people. The extensive objective behind it was to break the oppressive and unjust laws, to break the oppressive and unjust laws of the British government through peace and through satyagraha. All the movements of Gandhiji were on the path of peace and satyagraha. Here also Gandhiji was on the same path. He started civil disobedience movement, but it was also on the path of peace and satyagraha, or we can say through peace and satyagraha. Now, to show the British government, Gandhiji chose Dandi seashore in Gujarat to begin the salt satyagraha. And on 12th March 1930, Gandhiji set out from Sabarmati Ashram. He was there in the Sabarmati Ashram, and on 12th March 1930, he set out from Sabarmati Ashram with 78 followers in the beginning, in the start, for launching the Salt Satyagraha. A distance of approximately, just now think about this distance, 385 kilometer was covered on foot, and Gandhiji delivered speeches in the villages on the way. Now, because of this, there was atmosphere created in the different parts of the country in the favor of civil disobedience movement and in the favor of Dandi March. ये जो 385 किलोमीटर का डिस्टेंस है, गांधी जी ने वो पैदल तय किया, और रास्ते में जितने भी विलेजर्स आते थे उन गाँव में जाकर वो स्पीच देते थे। एक तो गांधी जी गाँव में आ रहे, ऊपर से वो स्पीच दे रहे, तो लोगों का उनके तरफ अट्रैक्शन जो है वो बढ़ गया, और दांडी मार्च के लिए लोगों का सपोर्ट जो है वो भी बढ़ गया। थ्रू द स्पीचेस गांधी जी अपील्ड टू द पीपल टू बी fearless, to be fearless and join the civil disobedience movement. Due to Gandhiji's speeches, message of civil disobedience movement spread everywhere and a favorable atmosphere was created. So on 5th April 1930, Gandhiji reached Dandi. On 6th April, Gandhiji broke the Salt Act. On 6th April, Gandhiji broke the Salt Act by picking up the salt laying on the seashore of Dandi, and the civil disobedience movement started all over the country. On 12th March, Gandhiji set out from Sabarmati Ashram and he reached on 5th April to the Dandi. And because of his speeches, because of his action, civil disobedience movement started all over the country. And now we'll talk about the civil disobedience movement in the different parts, and in that the first one, the Peshawar Satyagraha. In the northwest frontier, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan was the most loyal follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He was also known as Frontier Gandhi, and he had founded the organization called Khudai Khidmatgar. So on 23rd April 1930, he started Satyagraha at Peshawar. The town was in the hands of the Satyagrahis nearly for a week. मतलब पूरा शहर जो है वहाँ के सत्याग्रही जो थे उन्होंने अपने हाथ में लिया था, वहाँ पर उनका राज शुरू हुआ. That we can say in general. The British government gave orders to the Garhwal regiment. British government gave order to the Garhwal regiment to carry out open firing against the Satyagrahis. Carry out open firing on the Satyagrahis, but Chandra Singh Thakur, Chandra Singh Thakur, an officer of Garhwal regiment, refused to open fire. उन्होंने रेफ्यूज कर दिया कि मैं अपने ही लोगों के अगेंस्ट गोलियां नहीं चलाऊंगा. He refused to open fire. He was court-martialed then and was given a severe punishment. So Chandra Singh Garhwal or Chandra Singh Thakur was a leader of the Garhwal Rifle Regiment that revolted against their orders by refusing to open fire on a group of unarmed Pathans who were resisting the British rule using non-violent means and thereby preventing another. So not only Chandra Singh Thakur but many people start revolting against British government, though they were working for the British government, but they refused to open fire or to take action against their own people. The British government found itself a difficult situation due to the satyagraha launched by Mahatma Gandhi. On 4th May 1930, Gandhiji was arrested, and after that, the same thing happened. The news spread all over the country that the Gandhiji was arrested, and because of that, there was protest all over the country due to the arrest of Mahatma Gandhi. Now, next to the Peshawar Satyagraha, Solapur Satyagraha, which is also mentioned in the history, the meal workers were on the forefront in the Solapur Satyagraha on 6th May 1930. 6th May 1930, Hartal was observed in Solapur. It was the part of the civil disobedience movement, and a huge production was organized in Solapur. Here you can see the book Martial Law आणि सोलापूरचे 4 हुतात्मे. So there a huge procession was organized in Solapur, and the district collector gave orders of firing. Many volunteers along with Shankar Shivdare died in the firing. As a result, because of this, the people started attacking police stations, railway stations, courts, municipal buildings, etc. The government declared martial law, and the agitation was suppressed. But those who took lead in this movement, such as Malappa Dhanshetty, Sri Krishna Sarda, Qurban Hussain, and Jagannath Shinde, were hanged to death. By these examples, we can understand that how cruel was British government. जो भी लीड करता था उन्हें सीधा फांसी दे दी जाती थी या फिर ओपन फायरिंग की जाती थी, तो उसमें भी लोग मारे ही जाते थे. तो हियर ऑल्सो द पीपल हु लीड द सोलापुर सत्याग्रह वर हैंग्ड टू डेथ. नाउ इन धरासना सत्याग्रह, द सत्याग्रही एट धरासना इन गुजरात was led by Sarojini Naidu. The police lathi charged on the satyagrahis who came forward to back the SALT Act. The satyagrahis silently tolerated the blows of the lathi. This was the speciality or quality, we can say, of the satyagrahis. They were always without arms, and they show their things with peace. When they were taken away for medical aid, another batch of satyagrahis came forward to replace them. This was the strategy. लाठीचार्ज होता था, जो जख्मी हो जाते थे उन्हें ट्रीटमेंट के लिए लेके जाया जाता था, तब दूसरा ट्रुप आगे आकर फिर धरना धरने बैठ जाता था. In Maharashtra also, salt satyagraha took place at Wadala, Malwan and Sirora. But where there were no salt pans, the forest laws were broken. There was jungle satyagraha at Bilasi, Sangamner, Kalwan, Chirner and Pusad in Maharashtra. The tribal people also took part in the satyagraha in large numbers. So the thing which we have to understand here, that whenever people jumped into the satyagraha, they started disobeying the British government by using different ways. Sacrifice of Babu Genu. In Mumbai, there was agitation against foreign goods, and vehicles transporting foreign goods were obstructed. Babu Genu said, a mill worker, जैसे सोलापुर सत्याग्रह मिल वर्कर्स ने स्टार्ट किया था, वैसे मुंबई में भी बाबू गेनू एक मिल वर्कर थे. Babu Genu said a mill worker from Mumbai was in the forefront in this movement. He was leading, we can say, or he was in the forefront in this movement. A truck carrying foreign goods, safeguarded by the police. came in front of Babu Genu. To stop the truck, he lied down on the road. Police threatened him, but he did not move from his place, and finally, he was crushed under the truck. Babu Genu gained martyrdom, and this gave, or the sacrifice of Babu Genu gave inspiration to the national movement. Whenever such thing happened, the news spread all over the country, और फिर और ज़्यादा जोश के साथ लोग आज़ादी की जंग में उतर जाते थे. Now, two things here which are very important to understand again when we're talking about the freedom struggle of India, that at the same time on the road people were opposing the British government, and at the same time leaders of different parties or communities were also fighting against the British government in the politics. So in that, the first round table conference, in the opinion of British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald, while the civil disobedience movement was going on, the constitutional issues regarding India should be taught over. Here you can see Ramsay MacDonald. With the civil disobedience movement was going on, the constitutional issues regarding India should be thought over, and for this purpose he organized a conference at London. This conference is known as Round Table Conference. There were 3 round table conferences in the period between 1930 to 1932. 3 round table conferences were organized, and now one by one we'll talk about the roundtable conferences. First roundtable conference, Ramsay MacDonald was the chairman of the roundtable conference, and representatives of England and India participated in the conference. If we take the names, these included Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Sir Tej Bahadur Sapri, Barrister Jinnah, and many more. In the conference, there were discussions on various topics such as responsible government at central level. रिस्पॉन्सिबल गवर्नमेंट जो कि इंडिया के लोगों के साइड में होगा. रिस्पॉन्सिबल गवर्नमेंट एट सेंट्रल लेवल. इस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ फेडरल स्टेट इन इंडिया. सो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स of different political parties in India and rulers of princely states participated in the conference, but the Indian National Congress did not participate in it. And if we study the history, Indian National Congress party was the biggest party of that period. So without its participation, without Indian National Congress party's participation, the deliberations in the round table conference were indeed meaningless. और इसकी वजह से क्या हुआ कि फर्स्ट राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस सक्सेस नहीं हुई, क्योंकि उसमें कांग्रेस ने अपने पार्टिसिपेंट को, अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को नहीं भेजा था. नाउ देन वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट द गांधी-एवन पैक्ट. द ब्रिटिश प्राइम मिनिस्टर expressed his hope of participation of Indian National Congress in the second round table conference, and in view of the appeal made by the Prime Minister, the Viceroy released Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders from prison. Mahatma Gandhi and many other leaders of India were there in the prison, but British government released them so that a pact was signed between Mahatma Gandhi and Viceroy Ivan, which is known as the Gandhi-Ivan Pact. And according to this pact, the British government assured that the system of responsible government would be added in the proposed constitution of India, and consequently Indian National Congress withdrew the civil disobedience movement and agreed to attend the round table कॉन्फ्रेंस. मतलब जो सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट चल रही थी वो कांग्रेस ने पीछे ले ली, क्योंकि गांधी एविन पैक्ट में उन्होंने ऐसा वर्ड दे दिया था कि अभी आपको जो चाहिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, उसके लिए हम तैयार है. सेकेंड राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस in 1931, Mahatma Gandhi attended this conference as a representative of the Indian National Congress. फर्स्ट राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस में कांग्रेस ने अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को नहीं भेजा था, इसके लिए फर्स्ट राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस सक्सेस नहीं हुई. अब जब सेकेंड राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस 1931 में हुई तो उसमें कांग्रेस ने गांधी जी को अपना रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बना के वहां भेज दिया. Along with the Indian National Congress, representatives of various castes and communities, political parties, as well as princely states were invited. And their discussions on different things were happened. The government put forth the issue of minorities in the round table conference, and there were differences regarding this issue and also regarding the nature of the prospective federal constitution, so which results into Gandhiji tried to bring unanimity in the opinion but was unsuccessful, and finally Gandhiji became disappointed and returned back to India. So the same thing happened like the first round table conference. It was not that much successful. But one thing which happened in the favor of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, who represented the Dalits in the round table conference, he demanded separate electorates for Dalits. Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar in second round table conference demanded separate electorates for Dalits. After the second round table conference, the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald awarded or declared communal awards, and according to this, Dalits were given separate electorates. Gandhiji went on fast unto death at Erwada jail, protesting against the granting of separate electorate on the basis of caste. Gandhiji thought that this communal award may break down the people into caste, or it may lead the casteism in country, and that's why Gandhiji started fasting in the Erwada jail. The leaders of Indian National Congress requested Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar to consider the demand for separate electorates, and that's why he reconsidered, or we can say he rethought on the demand. Dr. Ambedkar was ready to accept this request, and in 24th September 1932, Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar signed the famous Pune Pact. According to this pact, separate electorates for the Dalits was cancelled and a provision for reserved seats was made. Today also we are having reserved seats in our political system, in our democracy, which is results of पूना पैक्ट. नहीं तो बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर ने जो कम्युनल अवार्ड्स लाए थे सेकेंड राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस में अंग्रेज़ों के साथ लड़के वहाँ पे डिस्कशन करके वो होते, बट इट वाज नॉट दैट सक्सेसफुल. नाउ द थर्ड राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस. In November 1932, the third Roundtable Conference was organized in England. The Indian National Congress boycotted the conference, and thus this conference proved to be futile. So the first Roundtable Conference, second Roundtable Conference, and third Roundtable Conference. Now after third Roundtable Conference, again second phase of civil disobedience movement started in our country. Gandhiji returned to India from the second Roundtable Conference with a dejected mind. You can say that, not in so happy mood. He decided to restart the civil disobedience movement, and Gandhiji was immediately arrested. And hence there was discontent among the people. So government responded to this movement by using inhuman oppressive methods that we studied in the earlier part of this lesson. किस तरह से ओपन फायर हुआ जाता था, या फिर कोई अगर ट्रक के सामने भी आता है तो उस पर से गाड़ी चलाई जाती थी. ऑल दिस थिंग्स आर नथिंग बट द इनह्यूमन ऑपरेसिव methods which were responded by British government. There was strangling of civic rights everywhere. The Indian National Congress and its associated institutions were declared illegal. Restrictions were levied on national newspaper and literature so that कोई ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ लिख नहीं पाए, बोल नहीं पाए. एंड फाइनली इन अप्रैल 1934 गांधीजी withdrew the movement and the historic phase of civil disobedience movement came to an end. So whenever in history we talk about the freedom struggle of India or how India gains independence, then the civil disobedience movement played very important role in creating atmosphere or in changing the minds of people, or it motivated people to jump into the fight against the British government. That's why civil disobedience movement is important, and it is also important because it was in the form of satyagraha and it was on the path of peace. ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट चाहे कितना भी ओपन फायरिंग करे, इनह्यूमन तरह से इस डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट को अपोज करे, लेकिन लोगों ने बहुत ही शांति से और सत्याग्रह के मार्ग से ये पूरा मूवमेंट चलाया. सो इन द टॉपिक we discussed about the Dandi March of Mahatma Gandhi, which was started on 12th March 1930. Then the Peshawar Satyagraha, Solapur Satyagraha, Dharasna Satyagraha, sacrifice of Babu Genu, which gives inspiration to the national movement. Then Round Table Conference, first, second and third, 3 roundtable conferences, and at last how second phase of civil disobedience movement started, and when Gandhiji declared that the historic phase of civil disobedience movement came to an end. In the next chapter we'll talk about the last phase of struggle for independence.
Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear ones, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.